Hello, good afternoon. Just check screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So till yesterday, what we have seen equilibrium chapter. Correct. So we have solved many more problems related to equilibrium. The second
Hello,
chapter.
sir.
Here,
Hello.
ha,
सर ते असाइनमेंटची लिंक ओपन होत नाही सर जमा करायची.
assignment or unit test, whichever take.
असाइनमेंट जमा करायची लिंक ओपन होत नाही. नीड परमिशन म्हणतोय.
What it is? Okay, I will check them.
हो.
After this lecture, I will check what is the problem actually. Then we will see what to do.
ओके सर.
What was the IEC paper? IEC.
आयसी चांगला गेला सर केला सर.
Have you solved all the problems?
येस सर.
Okay. Others, how was ISC paper? What is your opinion? Others? Huh? Others also. Please reply. How was the ISC paper? Is it difficult? It is easy? Is it moderate? What was that? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How was the ISC paper? How good was that?
No, sir.
No. Whether questions were familiar to you? Shall I just share question paper? Just wait. Okay. So actually, are you able to see question paper on the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, just we will see quickly. Otherwise, in one of the lecture, we will discuss all these things. Today, I don't have that writing pad, so I am unable to write. Okay, so I can't write anything today because that tab is taken by other teacher. So let it be. We will see what was that. So now, actually, this I thought that you have observed this first time. पहिल्यांदाच दिसला असेल. What is CO? What is the CO statement level? So it is not concerned to you. याच्याशी तुमचा काही संबंध नाही. Number one. CO means course objective. So you might be knowing. आपण discuss केलं होतं का what is course and what is program. Whether I have told these two terms to you. What is CO, course and what is program. As far as engineering is concerned, suppose as you are an engineering student, what is course? Which is your course? एखादा कोण सांगू शकते का? फॉर एक्झाम्पल ऋतुजा, रोल नंबर हाऊ मच? 7. ऋतुजा, I am able to are you able to listen me? Rutuja, roll number 7. I think not. Okay, next one, Rutuja Golap. Next Rutuja, 9. 9th number Rutuja. Are you able to say? Able to listen me? If not, okay. 34, Jagadali Mahesh. Mahesh. महेश, माझा आवाज येतोय का सगळ्यांना?
Yes.
I am doubtful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
महेश महेश तरी म्हणा ना. महेश महेश जगदाळे. Okay. Ashwini Matne Patel is not given. Okay. Omkar, 32. Omkar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So will you tell me which is your course? तुमचा कोर्स कुठला आहे? ओके, FOIBTech. म्हणजे तुम्ही सेकंड इयरला गेल्यावर तुमचा कोर्स बदलणार का? थर्ड इयरला गेल्यावर कोर्स बदलणार, फायनल इयरला गेल्यावर? ओके. Means your branch, you are telling your branch. Actually, now I will not ask each and everybody. So actually, in our engineering, we can say terminology. Engineering मध्ये course and program. These are the two terms. Two different terms. Just for information, it is not part of syllabus. Don't worry. Course means what? Course means subject. थोडंसं contradictory आहे थोडंसं. Course means subject. Engineering mechanics is one course. म्हणजे हे जे टर्मिनॉलॉजी असतात, हू डिसाइड्स दिस? ऍक्च्युली AICTE, ऑल इंडिया काउन्सिल फॉर टेक्निकल एज्युकेशन. सो तिकडून टर्म्स आलेले असतात. कोर्स मीन्स सब्जेक्ट आणि प्रोग्राम मीन्स युअर ब्रँच. काय म्हटलं मी? व्हॉट आय हॅव टोल्ड? Which two words I have given? One is course, another one is program. Program is nothing but your branch. Suppose you are in mechanical engineering, that is your program is mechanical engineering. Suppose you are in computer science and engineering, your program is computer science and engineering. Suppose you are in any other civil engineering, suppose your program is civil engineering. So just here remember, course means subject. Hereafter you will listen this word. What is your course objective? What is course outcome? Program objective. Once you will be in, we can say in offline, you will listen these terms. Even you can observe the boards. Program outcome in our college premises many more times or many more places you will observe, in your labs, in your classrooms, anywhere, even in passage also you will observe program outcome. Means being a engineering student, what you should do at the end, it is called as attribute. What is attribute? Attribute ला मराठीत काय म्हणायचं कोणाला माहिती? What is attribute? Attribute means characteristic. You remember, characteristics means being a graduate student or graduate, so we can say what qualities we should have. ते त्याच्यामध्ये लिस्ट केलेलं असतात 1 2 3 4 5. I think 14 are there, 14. So let it be, it is a non-technical part. So you just remember this. I thought that yesterday somebody will ask what is this. It is not actually your part. Your part is starting from here. तुमचं इथून चालू होता क्वेश्चन पेपर. ओके. CO means you just remember. CO means course objective. Course means subjects and program means, जर कोणी विचारलं आपल्याला जाता जाता कॉलेजमधून कुठेही, एनिवेअर, नॉट ओनली इन कॉलेज, इन अदर प्लेसेस, सपोज समबडी विल आस्क विच इज युअर प्रोग्राम, व्हॉट विल बी युअर आन्सर? काय आन्सर असलं पाहिजे मग? क्रुशल, रोल नंबर 62. काय चाललंय नक्की आज? कोणच काय देत नाही. समीक्षा, रोल नंबर 43. समीक्षा,
Yes, sir.
विच इज युअर प्रोग्राम?
Computer science and engineering.
Okay, very good. Computer science and engineering means you are telling your branch, it is nothing but program. And course means your subject. In number of, so whatever number of subject you are going to study, that are your courses. One of the course is in this semester is engineering mechanics. One of the subject is engineering mathematics, engineering chemistry, basic civil engineering, whatever, basic mechanical engineering, UHV, universal human values, whatever. One of the course. Likewise, so you remember, forget about it. Let's come. Shall we discuss this or shall we go for now? Today I am unable to write. I can't write anything. You have to listen only. So shall we discuss or shall we discuss later? I think all things were known to you. Nothing to worry. Let us see only in this how whether you were able to solve this. What's the problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One of the thing. Okay, in this case, one of the thing was not given. What was that? With respect to what point you were supposed to find resultant? That point was not given.
Answer.
Even nomenclature is not given. So we have discussed in one of the problem. What if it is not given? Then which point we are supposed to take?
Lowermost left point.
Lowermost left point. I hope you might have taken there. Lowermost means this point. It will come here. It will come to this point. Okay. Then you might have found out. Otherwise, it was very simple. Intentionally, I given this simple problem. Only horizontal and vertical forces were there. You were supposed to find summation fx, summation fy, then resultant, then x bar and y bar. Also theta. Theta is equal to tan inverse of summation. Very easy. We will see. Or in one of the lecture, we will solve. Today, it is not possible. Next. Actually, here there was a confusion. Okay. I don't know now what you have taken. So I got from one of the student. Okay, so what was that? या प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये काय थोडासा प्रॉब्लेम झाला की हे डायमेन्शन किती आहे कन्फ्युजन झालं थोड्या जणांना. हाऊ मच यू हॅव टेकन सम ऑफ यू?
5 meter.
5 meter, sir.
ओके. कॅन समवन टेकन 9 मीटर? कुणी 9 मीटर वगैरे घेतलं का हे? बिकॉज इट लुक्स लाईक 9. कुणी घेऊन वगैरे सोडवलं हे 9 घेऊन? ऍक्च्युली इट इज 5, बट while writing it looks like 9. It is 5 only, or it is given beam length somewhere not given. Okay. Span of beam was not given. What was the type of beam? Beam चा type कुठला येतं?
Overhanging.
Overhanging.
Because beam was present beyond supports. Okay, which type of loads were applied on this beam?
Uniform distributed and point load.
Uniform distributed and point load. Okay. And along with that, one more thing is there on the beam. What is that?
Moment.
Moment. Very good. I hope this also problem you might have solved. If some of you might have taken this 9, don't worry. I will check with the 9 what is the answer is coming. So I heard with if once you are going to take 5, your answer is going to satisfy this. Okay. So let us see what to do. It was very simple. What I have did. My intention was that students should not take due advantage of notebook. That's why though the problems were simple, they were not in notebook. That's why I have kept this. Actually, this problem, whether we have solved this, I'm a little doubtful. Third problem,
Yes, sir.
same problem we have solved,
Yes,
or
sir.
it was different.
Notebook मध्ये
हो
नाही.
सर डी फाइंड करायचं होतं त्या प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये
D,
ए बी अँड
हम्म.
ए बी सी अँड डी
A, B, C, and D. Where is this? A
डी
is here,
म्हणजे सर वेगळं होतं.
A is here, B is here, C is here. Okay, the contact points are there. So I don't know whether we have solved or not, but a similar problem we have solved. There is difference between same and similar. So what I have taken care while setting the question paper, problems should not be same. Copy paste. It was not same, but it was similar. Are you getting meaning between this same and similar? I have put similar problem but not same problem from the notebook. This practice will be followed in further ISCs as well. So you have to clear your concepts at that point only. So if time permit, today I can't write anything on the screen. So any other lecture we will solve. I will check your answer sheets first. If majority of the students got correct answer, then we will not solve. If I will found many of students committed mistake, then definitely we will solve these 3 problems and we will discuss as well. So what I want to tell, understanding is important. Whenever you will stuck somewhere, immediately you should ask. You should not be with your doubts only, because it will be put you in trouble. If let it be any simple doubt, complicated doubt, anything, you should be solved. You should ask immediately. So let us see today's topic. Only we will discuss. Are you able to see? Change the screen. I have changed. I think you are not able. Just do it. Just check now.
सर
हा,
चेक करून कधी भेटतील पेपर?
देऊ की within 1 or 2 days, 3 days. Don't worry, we will give. Actually, now I have to check manually. Earlier, one of the test I have given, UT1, it was checked by software. Only I have taken extracted that result and I have kept somewhere. But now I have to check manually. हे थोडासा आता फरक आहे. That is the use of software and this manual. आता तुम्ही काय केलंय, तुम्ही जे अपलोड केलेले आहे शीट ते मला ओपन करून पाहावे लागेल. Then I have to check whether something is going wrong, copy paste etc. Whether 2 sheets are looking same. ते मला बघावं लागेल ना. It will take time, a little time it will take. One test will take. as a part of practice, I have one test which I have used in last year. So I will give that also. Only link objective type. It is objective type. Once this chapter will over, you remind me. We will practice. I will give that test as well for the practice. Okay.
या चॅप्टरची
Coming back
कसं
to chapter number 1 and 2. It include questions, multiple choice questions from chapter number 1 and 2. दोन्ही मधले त्याच्यामध्ये काय आहेत क्वेश्चन आहेत पण मल्टिपल चॉईस आहेत. ओनली यू हॅव टू टिक मार्क. But in that again problems are there. I have tried to put problem. For example, I will tell one of the example. Maybe here something like this problem already we have solved, and here it is told for a given beam, for a following beam, what is the value of RB? Means last time it was a multiple choice question exam university. That's why at that time I have created such questions. Actually, though we have solved here theoretically, but quickly in exam, you may not be having sufficient time. So maybe you might be knowing one of the example I have told initially only. So maybe here, maybe this. असा प्रश्न विचारला जातो एक्झाम मध्ये. For a given beam as shown in following figure. See this diagram, corner diagram. What will be the value of RB? मी सांगितलं होतं बघा त्यावेळी number of forces applied from the beam. It will divide. That support will get divide into two ends. म्हणजे जेवढे फोर्स वरून अप्लाय झालेले आहेत ते काय करणार बरोबर हाफ होतील, प्रोव्हाइडेड दॅट इट शुड बी अगेन सिमेट्रिकल. 50%, they will take 50% of load. थोडंच आहे. Suppose there is a table, okay, and at the center certain load is applied. So what will happen? That total load is going to divide into four different components, or that four legs will take equal load. जर आपण बरोबर सेंटरला टेबल जर असेल, we can say notebook, something like this. You just, if I have applied exactly at the center, and in case of table, the total load will be divided into four different components, and it will be taken equally, like that. असं होऊ शकतं. Okay, suppose I will ask a simple question. Suppose there is a square table having four legs. Table ला चारच असतात. Okay, there is a square table having four legs on which 100 Newton force is applied. 100 Newton. So what will be the reaction at each leg, or one of the legs?
25.
25.
It is simple. It will be 25. Simple question. Only little logic, very little. We can say, not more, not rocket science. एक टेबल आहे आणि त्याच्या बरोबर सेंटरला 100 न्यूटन फोर्स अप्लाय केलाय. तर त्याच्या एका लेग मध्ये कुठल्याही किती रिएक्शन तयार झाली असेल? 25 न्यूटन. 1/4 ऑफ अप्लाइड लोड. समथिंग लाईक दिस. असेही क्वेश्चन विचारले जाऊ शकतात इन एक्झाम. इट मे पॉसिबल टू आस्क सच क्वेश्चन्स ॲज वेल. Okay, we don't know how it will be, but we are preparing for. So this problem also yesterday we solved. I hope you got the answer now. Then friction. So what you know about friction? This is the last part of this chapter. After this, actually many more problems are there, but last point from this chapter. This chapter is going to end. So what is friction? तुम्हाला काय काय माहिती फ्रिक्शन बद्दल? Can someone tell me what do you know about friction?
The force which resists the motion.
Okay, very good. The force which resists the motion. Again, आठवा जरा काय काय आपल्याला माहिती फ्रिक्शन मध्ये. व्हॉट डू यू नो अबाउट फ्रिक्शन? क्वेश्चन इज व्हेरी सिम्पल, और वी कॅन से व्हेरी जनरल. एकदम मी जनरल मध्ये विचारलेलं आहे की व्हॉट डू यू नो अबाउट फ्रिक्शन? फ्रिक्शन बद्दल काय माहिती? व्हॉट डू यू नो? Whether friction is good as far as in practical, suppose if friction arises, is it good or is it bad? Friction असावं का नसावं? What is your opinion?
Depend upon situation.
Ha sir,
Very good.
depending
Depend
upon
upon
situation.
situation. Very good. I was expecting same answer, because neither it is good, neither it is bad. We can see, because how we are going to make it is off. So if you are going to make its good use, it is good. It is good as well as bad. So it depends upon application. Very good. I was expecting same. Then now friction. So friction is a force between two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide across each other. If there are two surfaces, okay, two different, uh, then it is a force between that two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide across each other. Okay, so that force which will come into picture, that is called as friction. It is as simple as this. Then example, when you try to push a book along the floor, friction makes it difficult. Or friction makes this difficult. Means there is a book on the floor and you want to just slide with little force. It may not go. Why? Because due to friction. So it may be like this. Friction always works in the direction opposite to the direction in which the object is moving or trying to move. What is telling? Friction always works in the direction opposite to the direction in which the object is moving or trying to moving. Okay, example. So here, so if I will think, I will write with this only. Okay. Maybe something on this. If you'll think a little about this, friction always works in the direction opposite to the. So I will ask here one question. Audible, just check. So friction and reaction. So we have seen reaction. Are you knowing? Many more problems of reaction in case of beam as well as these rollers, etc. Many more. So if you'll think now, so just think for a while and let me know what is difference between friction and reaction. बघा बरं मग काय फरक असेल या दोन्हीमध्ये?
Friction is nothing but reaction.
Okay. Friction is nothing but one reaction. Okay. Any other? Good.
पण फ्रिक्शन हे मुव्हिंग ऑब्जेक्ट वर आणि रिएक्शन हे स्टॅटिक
good.
ऑब्जेक्ट.
Okay, good. Reaction may be occur on the static object as well, though the object is at stationary position, but it is supported at somewhere. Then reaction will come into picture. But that is the not case with friction. Very good. Again, two references we got. Number one. कुठला सांगा? Hello. Just
Yes.
wait. Just see. Okay. First difference. What we have seen? First difference. Sakshi, please repeat what I have told.
Friction is applied for moving object and reaction.
No. First difference. Which we
First
have.
सांगितलं friction is nothing but type of reaction.
Yes, friction is a type of reaction, or it is something like reaction, or it is a type of reaction, we can say. And another one, friction will come into picture when object is in moving or about to move. एकतर ते moving पाहिजे किंवा about to move. सुरू झालेलं आहे just. And reaction, it may not be on stationary. Object should be in stationary, we can say. Reaction. Any other? As far as its, we can say, direction is concerned, as far as surface and direction, there is a one surface, something like this, and one more object is there on this surface, something like this. Okay, and I am just trying to move it. So how friction will occur? How friction will occur in opposite direction, where there
Yes,
is a
sir.
contact between these two surfaces. म्हणजे इथं असेल. At this moment, there will be friction, exactly opposite in direction, in that way. But same object now, I'm not moving, just it is kept on the one of the surface. हे कुठेतरी फक्त ठेवलेला आहे एका surface वर. So how a reaction will occur? How reaction will occur in that case? Suppose this object is just kept here. How reaction will occur? In this way, no? Perpendicular to surface. The surface ला perpendicular असेल. Is it correct? Reaction will be, can I say like this? Reaction is always perpendicular to surface, and in other case, friction is along the surface. असं म्हणूया का आपण? Can we say like this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
We can say like this. Friction is along the surface. Okay, along the surface. Now direction I have not told. Is it in opposite to applied force? It is also same. Action and reaction is opposite to each other. Similarly, both are opposite, but reaction. So that one is most important. Reaction is perpendicular to the surface, and we can say frictional force. This term will come now always. Frictional force is along the surface. So just remember this as well. Okay. Next, advantages and disadvantages. Just I have asked you, is it friction is useful or not useful? So you can see. We'll read advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. We'll read from the slide. Roll number 24. 24.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Advantages of friction. Friction is responsible for many types of motion. It helps us walk on the ground. Brakes in a car make use of friction to stop the car. It helps in the generation of heat when we rub on our hands.
Good. So your advantages are given where we can use friction. Where we can use friction means what is that? Advantages. Friction is good. Friction is responsible for many types of motion. I have given example. You might be knowing. Is it possible to walk on the, we can say, ice? आपण बर्फावरून चालू शकू का? Is it possible? What do you feel? Is it possible to walk on the ice? Ice?
No, sir.
No.
No, no, we can't, because there is no friction, or that ice surface is very smooth. That's why even we can say, is it possible to walk on the mirror? Mirror is having good smoothness, or it is very smooth. So what we can say, friction is responsible for many types of motion, because whenever there is friction, we can, even on our earth, or whenever we are walking on the floor, we are able to walk due to friction. Otherwise, we might have slipped. Okay, in that way, it helps us walk on the ground. Just I have told. So brakes in a car make, not only in car and all automobile, even in our two-wheeler, four-wheeler, whatever. So there is a friction between two parts or components. That's why we are able to apply the brake. So brakes in a car make use of friction to stop the car. Means we can apply the brake to vehicle. We can apply the brake to the vehicle with the help of this friction. Very simple. Are you able to imagine? Imagine होता है, very simple. Then it helps in generation of heat when our, now this in winter, when we are feel very cold, one we can say, in that way you are knowing this better. Disadvantages are also there. Disadvantages. What is that? Friction produces unnecessarily heat, leading to the wastage of energy. Can you Is it possible for you to give example of this? Friction produces unnecessary heat, leading to the wastage of energy. असं कुठं होतंय का की unnecessary we can say energy generated unnecessarily in application? Do you feel? Huh? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Will you think असं कुठं होतंय का की unnecessarily energy waste होते or it is generated and it is wasted as well? So energy cannot be, what is
Best.
law of, it cannot be, काय म्हणतो ते आपण, law of what, conservation of energy?
Yes, sir.
It cannot be created, sir.
Or not
Okay.
Not destroyed.
Not destroyed as well. Conservation, law of conservation of energy. Okay. So you just search it where it is we can say generated unnecessarily and it is going waste. Next one is the force of friction acts in the opposite direction of motion. So friction slows down the motion of moving object. Are you able to imagine this? As there is
Yes,
a
sir.
friction, it is slowing down the motion. Means we need more force if you want to go with more speed. It is as simple as this. The force of friction acts in the opposite. The force of friction acts in the opposite direction of motion. So friction slows down the motion. This is drawback actually. We need more force to drive, or we can say to apply the motion in opposite of friction. We need more force. So that is one of the drawback of friction. Forest fires are caused due to friction between tree branches. Are you believing this? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fires. Forest fires are the cause of friction. Means you might be knowing for years together that forest fires are going on. I heard this. You can see. Means
Yes, sir.
it is related to something environmental subject. So it is the cause of forest fire, we can say, caused due to frictional between tree branches. So it is a major drawback or disadvantage. Major disadvantage of that. Then a lot of money goes into preventing friction and the usual wear and tear caused by it by using techniques like greasing, oiling, etc. Are you getting this? Means wear and tear of the part will happen due to friction. Wear and tear of the part will happen due to friction. So we have to invest uh, money on that. Okay, to avoid the friction. Actually, there are three terminology. Just see, are you aware about this? हा शब्द कधी ऐकलाय का बघा बरं. Tribology. Have you heard this word somewhere? What is tribology?
Sir.
Huh? Have you heard this?
No.
Okay, no issue. What is tribology? Here we are going to see only friction. Like these two more terms are there, which we can study in this branch. It is one of the special branch. एक स्पेशल ब्रांच आहे की ज्यामध्ये तीन गोष्टींचा अभ्यास केला जातो. Which are that three things? Number one is friction, what the way we are studying. Another one is wear.
And lubrication.
Yes, good. And another one is lubrication. These are the three things which can be studied under this tribology. Even tribology is one of the special branch we can say, in which we can study. One is friction, another one is wear, and third one is lubrication. So you know why lubrication is required to avoid the wear and this friction as well. Okay, so just for your information, I have told what is this. Okay, advantages and disadvantages. Shall we go next? Today only we are going to see only theoretical part. Shall we go next?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now next one is frictional force. Frictional force and its significance. So what is frictional force? Friction is nothing but one of the force. Like what the way we are calling it as action and reaction. Reaction is a force. Can we say like this?
Yes.
Reaction is a force. Why it is generated? Why we are getting reaction? आपल्याला reaction का भेटते हो? In general, why there is a reaction at contact surface? का असते? Because there is a किंवा आपण in general सांगतो. When we are giving reaction, एखाद्या गोष्टी आपण रिएक्शन कधी देतो का अशीच देतो ना काय असतं आपल्याला कोण काय बोललंच नाही आपण रिएक्शन देतो का
No,
Is
if
it
there
happening
is
like this?
action, then there is reaction.
What whenever
If
there
there
is
is
action,
action,
then
and
there is
there is
reaction.
reaction.
yes, whenever there is action there is reaction, unless and until action is not there, reaction also will not be there. So that's why something like that. Similarly, frictional force also we can say, unless and until we can't move a body from, or we can't slide a body, this frictional force will not come into picture. So this also you have to remember. What is frictional force? Is a resistive force. Both are forces. Reaction is also a force. This frictional force itself is a force. It is given in the its name only. So frictional force is a resistive force developed between two surfaces in contact when motion takes place among them. Most important part of the sentence, which is that when motion takes place among them, unless and until there is no motion, there will not be no friction. Okay, there is no friction. There is a motion, that's why there is a friction. Factors on which frictional resistance depends are as follows. Why this resistive force will come into picture? So here it is given. Then factors on which frictional resistance depends are as follows. Nature of surface in contact. You remember this will be asked for your multiple choice question. Frictional force depends upon 1, 2, 3, whatever. One of the option may be out of that. So nature of surface in contact. More smooth surface, a little we will discuss here. If surface is more smooth, what about frictional force? कमी असेल का last? We can say, is it less or more? If
Less.
more the smoothness, less will be frictional force. Can we say like this? More the smoothness, less will be the frictional force.
Yes,
Is it
yes.
correct? Then magnitude of applied force. More the magnitude, what will be the frictional force? We are applying high force on an object and we are trying to move. So what is your case?
More friction.
So can we say like this? Applied force is equal to frictional force. असं होऊ शकतं का इथं? Do you feel something like action reaction जसं म्हणतोय आपण? So applied force is equal to frictional force. I will write FF. Frictional force but opposite in direction. असं म्हणूया का मी? हे दोन्ही सेमच असतात मॅग्निट्यूडला but opposite in direction. Something like action and reaction. Are you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Normal reaction between contact surfaces. So it is here we can understand right now. Normal reaction between contact surfaces. Okay, we will see what is that. Normal reaction, what is between contact surfaces. So for information, just remember nature of surface in contact, magnitude of applied force, and normal reaction between contact surfaces. Classification. Are you noting down the things?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Classification of, or we can say types of friction. So just see, are you able to read? Can somebody read? Arya, roll number 26.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it possible for you to read the slide?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Classification or types of friction. Friction classification based on motion. Static friction, it occurs when body is at rest and tends to move. Dynamic friction, it occurs when there is a relative motion between surfaces in contact. Uh, Sliding friction, it occurs when body slides over each other. Rolling friction, it occurs when bodies roll over each other. Classification based on surface condition. Dry friction, it occurs when surfaces in contact are dry. Wet friction, it occurs when surfaces in contact are wet.
Okay, thank you. So how friction is classified? So you can see how friction is classified. So mainly on two types. One is based on motion, based on condition. So this we are not going to consider. याचं काय आपण consider करणार नाही. So whatever second classification we are not going to consider. But this classification we are going to consider. So it is a type, one of the type of friction, how it is classified depending upon a surface condition, dry and wet. It is as simple as this. But we are not going to consider this in our further syllabus. We are going to see only this classification based on motion. So how it is? Static friction, it occurs again in motion, static and dynamic. These two terms are very familiar to you right now. What is static and what is dynamic? So what is that? It occurs when the body is at rest. इथपर्यंत ओके आहे का हे सेंटेन्स? Suppose sentence is up to this. We know static means what? Body is at rest. Correct?
Rest.
So why it is given? Whether friction will occur when body is at rest? What do you feel? Whether friction will occur if body is at rest? Because static means rest. What is your opinion? Yes or no? Whether friction will occur when body is at rest? Question is very simple. Yes or no? Neither yes, neither no, or both yes and no. I am not getting any response. Mansi, roll number 25. Mansi,
Yes, sir.
what is your opinion? जर बॉडी रेस्टला असेल किंवा स्टेशनरी असेल तर फ्रिक्शन असेल का? वेदर फ्रिक्शन विल ऑकर इन दॅट केस? क्वेश्चन इज व्हेरी सिम्पल.
I think yes, sir.
Yes. Others,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Your opinion. Okay, your opinion is yes. Others?
No, sir.
Yes,
No,
No.
sir.
Yes, sir.
No, yes, no, yes.
No,
मग कधी
sir.
ऑकर होईल? ओके, मेजॉरिटी सेइंग नो. देन व्हेन इट विल ऑकर? मग कधी येईल ते? व्हेन इट विल कम इन टू पिक्चर और व्हेन इट विल ऑकर?
बॉडी मोशन मध्ये आल्यावर सर.
Move some about to tends to move, we can say. When body tends to move, body just motion मध्ये चालू झालेली आहे. Just I am saying, body is at rest and it is about to move. Then in that case, static friction will occur. Then in that case, static friction will occur. So it is not the case, Mansi, roll number 25 something. If body is at rest, friction will be there. So there will be action and reaction. Mansi, am I audible for you? I think yes. Okay. When static friction will occur when body is about to move, body फक्त त्याची मोशन चालू करायला लागलेली आहे. In that case, there will be a friction or frictional force. If body is totally at the rest, then frictional force will not occur. You keep in mind this. And about dynamic friction, there is no worry. It occurs when there is a relative motion. What is relative motion? What is a relative motion? Quickly, you have studied by
The
which
motion
subject?
between two surfaces.
Motion between two surfaces may not be exactly correct. Not exactly correct. I want technically correct. Relative motion means what?
सर एखाद्या
Example.
ऑब्जेक्टला रेफर करून घेतलेलं.
Okay, partially correct. But I want exact difference. I will give one example, a practical example. Nowadays, buses are not working. Okay. Then suppose you are sitting in one of the bus. Okay, and two buses are just going simultaneously. At some incidents, you might have come across this. तुम्ही एका बसमध्ये बसलेला आहात आणि दुसरी बस चाललेली आहे शेजारवरून. ओके, नियर टू यू वी कॅन से, अँड बोथ द आर हॅव्हिंग सेम स्पीड. दोन्हीचं सेमच स्पीड आहे काही काळापुरतं. मे बी इट इज फॉर 10-15 सेकंड्स ऑर 30 सेकंड्स वी कॅन से. तुमचा काय एक्सपिरियन्स आहे का असा की तुम्ही एका बसमध्ये आहात, एसटी बस म्हणूया आपण, दुसरी एसटी बस तुमच्या शेजारून चाललेली आहे. फॉर अ वाईल बोथ बसेस आर हॅव्हिंग सेम स्पीड. व्हॉट डू यू फील? काय असं तुम्हाला जाणवतलंय का? कधी आलाय का असं इन्सिडन्स तुमच्याकडे? तुम्हाला काहीतरी जाणवतंय आपल्याला, समथिंग लाईक दॅट?
येस सर.
काय? I think you may not came across this incident. If you are traveling in one bus, असेल का, झाला असेल कदाचित बघा. एसटी मधून चाललेला आहात तुम्ही इकडे सपोज ए मधून विथ सर्टन स्पीड, सपोज वी कॅन से व्ही, आणि इकडून पण एक बस तुम्हाला पास करायला लागेल ऍट सर्टन टाइम अँड ऍट अ मोमेंट फॉर 30 सेकंड सपोज इट इज ऑल्सो हॅव्हिंग स्पीड व्ही. याचंही व्ही स्पीड झालं, तुमचंही व्हीच झालं. सो व्हॉट डू यू फील? की तुम्हाला असं वाटेल की यू आर ॲट स्टेशनरी, तुम्ही जागेलाच थांबलाय असं वाटेल विथ कम्पेअर टू दॅट
Yes,
अदर
sir,
बस.
it's happened.
येस, इट मे हॅपन. वाय? कशामुळे होतं हो असं? मग असं वाटतं की आपण जागेलाच थांबलेलो आहोत. इफ यू सी द पॅसेंजर इन अदर बस, तुम्ही पाहिलंय का बघा हे असं प्रॅक्टिकली? कशामुळे होतं हो असं? असं वाटतं की
Relative
आपण
motion.
मोशन सेम असल्यामुळं.
रिलेटिव्ह मोशन
सेम असल्यामुळं.
एक्झॅक्टली आपण असं म्हणत नाही की रिलेटिव्ह मोशन सेम. रिलेटिव्ह म्हणजे डिफरन्स. ध्यानात ठेवा हा शब्द इथून पुढे. रिलेटिव्ह मोशन मीन्स डिफरन्स इन मोशन. दोन्हीचा डिफरन्स किती झाला हो? याची पण व्ही तयार झाली, याची व्ही. डिफरन्स बिटवीन बोथ, व्हॉट विल बी द डिफरन्स?
0.
0. दॅट्स वाय वी फील इट एज ॲट स्टेशनरी. आपल्याला असं वाटतं की आपण जागेला थांबलेलो आहोत. ऑर एसटी बस इज ॲट स्टेशनरी. If you have not come across this incident, once you will come to know that. It's very interesting. Or sometimes you even might be in your schooling, etc. Your teachers might be saying, if you are traveling in ST bus, what do you feel? तुम्हाला असं वाटतं की झाड पळायला लागले पाठीमाग. Have you experienced this?
Yes,
Relative
sir.
motion.
And
Best example of relative motion. Relative motion means difference in motion. ते डिफरन्स मुळे जाणवते. इट इज नॉट द फॅक्ट. झाडं एका जागेलाच असतात, आपण पुढे चाललेलो. व्हॉट डू यू फील? Trees are moving in backside with certain speed or velocity. It is the cause of this relative motion. 12वीला वगैरे झाला असेल. Relative motion means difference in motion. You remember this term. This term is going to come in our second further syllabus at the end. What is relative motion? Relative motion is nothing but difference in motion. You remember. Meanwhile, further, this it is classified into sliding friction and rolling friction. It occurs when bodies slide over each other, and this it occurs when body roll over each other. What is difference? Sliding and rolling. It occurs when bodies slide. Okay, here is difference. Body slide, and here roll over each other. In one case, one body is sliding over another body, and in other case, one body roll. फिरत जाते अशी. रोलर यू माइट बी नोईंग इन कन्स्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रोड एक्सेट्रा. रोलर पाहिला सगळ्यांनी. रोलर कसा फिरत जातोय? इट इज वे बी समथिंग लाईक दिस ऑन द रोड. दॅट इज द क्लासिफिकेशन. फॉर युअर इन्फॉर्मेशन, जस्ट क्लासिफिकेशन हाऊ इट इज क्लासिफाईड. हे कसं क्लासिफिकेशन होतं, यू कॅन रिमेंबर दिस. ओके, प्लीज टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट और राइट इट. Classification or types of. Then laws of static and dynamic friction. Actually, whatever classification we have seen. Let me check what is there further. Limiting friction, limiting coefficient of friction, angle. Okay, many more terms are there. Okay, we will see. Laws of static friction and laws of dynamic friction. The force of friction always acts in the direction opposite to the direction. Actually, it is not the difference. Huh? Actually, it is not the difference. Some of the points are common. Just for reading at one time or studying this at time, one I have collected here. It is not the case that it is having some different. Huh? So just for information, you will come to know that afterwards. In both the cases, force of friction always act in opposite direction. So it is not the difference, it is similarity. Yeah, first point. I will write yes for similarity. The magnitude of the force of friction is exactly equal to the force which is tends to move. The magnitude of kinetic friction bears a constant ratio with the normal reaction. Okay. So this satisfies in static friction equal and opposite or magnitude is same but not here. आता याचं कारण काय असेल बघा थोडंसं थिंक करावं लागेल तुम्हाला why it is so. The magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant f by r, okay, ratio of normal reaction. Static friction is always greater than dynamic reaction, dynamic friction. If force of friction depends upon roughness, ratio is slightly less than, and force of friction is not depend upon shape and area. Okay, shape and area for moderate speed, the force of friction remains constant. But for decrease with the increase of, but decrease with the increase of speed. Okay, so just different laws are there. How it is in both cases, force of friction is opposite in both the cases. The magnitude of force of friction is exactly equal to, okay, but here it is not the case in dynamic. I will tell tomorrow with the example why it is so. असं का आहे डायनामिक फ्रिक्शन मध्ये. So meanwhile, just note down this. For today, we will stop. Okay, next lecture will be there. So I will take attendance. Roll number 4. 4. 4 is absent.
Yes, sir.
Who is 4? 4.
Yes.
कोण आहे 4? म्हणा बरं एकदा yes sir. Let me know who is 4. Dying गड something. तुम्ही दुसऱ्या नंबरवरून जॉईन झालाय का? रोल नंबर 4.
No, sir. His number.
मग तुम्ही नंबर का टाकला नाही हो? तुमचा रोल नंबर. Okay, you put your roll number. Otherwise, I am just checking roll number serially. Those who are not going to call, 12 is absent.
Okay, sir.
Will call absent. You write your roll number. Rename yourself. Then 31, 45 absent. 52 absent. Others are present. No worry. So thank you. We will see the remaining part tomorrow.